Hi again, everybody. My name is Greg Anderson, and this is not my normal YouTube show called The Good Timekeeping Show, where I talk about clocks and watches and any kind of concepts and principles and gadgets that have to do with keeping track of time. That's the show I normally work on here on YouTube, The Good Timekeeping Show. But I haven't made any new episodes of The Good Timekeeping Show here for the last few weeks. I've been very busy building this, okay? And I know some of you are probably excited, like other friends of mine saying, "Oh, this is great. Greg, you're building a man cave." And it's not a man cave. And then you might be thinking, well, maybe you're so happy with your YouTube success that you've built a YouTube studio. And I'd have to say, no, this is not a YouTube studio either. In fact, let's turn on the color real quick. This is a playhouse for the kids, and the kids picked the colors. Okay, so that's what I've been building these last few weeks. Now, it's not quite finished, so you're not allowed to stare at anything for too long and look for flaws, because I'm not quite finished. But see, I wanted to build something for the kids that they would not outgrow. I've seen some cute little playhouses around that are built for, people that are under 5 feet tall, maybe even shorter than that. So after just a short period of time, your kids grow and they grow out of the playhouse, and then you've got this empty monument to a childhood that no longer exists. And that seems kind of sad to me. So we thought, let's build one that they can't outgrow. So the actual size of this place, it's 12 feet by 16 feet here on the front and back. 12 by 16. I did that because then I could use full pieces of the raw material. So I could do the 4 by 8 sheets of the exterior material, for example, and not have to do a lot of custom cutting to make it fit. And also at 12 by 16, it's just under 200 square feet. And so that makes it a little bit less of a hassle dealing with building permits and inspectors and stuff like that. Not that I don't want to build it up to code and have it be safe and last a long time. I want all of those things, but still, it's nice to have just that little less hassle with regulations trying to build something like this. So I took my inspiration from 3 different sources, and what I did was I watched other YouTube videos to see what other people had to say about building stuff. Now you might be thinking, oh, that's great. Did you make a video about how to build one of these? And that'll be a series of videos that you're going to put out. No, I did not do that. Perhaps I should have. That might have been entertaining for some folks. But I just figured I'm not an expert on building a building like this, so I wasn't necessarily going to share my expertise. But I can tell you that there are some folks on YouTube that have put out some very good instructional videos that to me were either instructional, learned things I didn't know before, or just kind of a refresher, because I have been involved in construction projects before. I've never, however, been the guy in charge of the whole project, which is what I did on this one here. So I built with 2x4 studs, placed 16 inches apart on center, and that's what I did for 12 foot by 16 feet. The interior ceiling, 8 feet tall. The walls are fully insulated, the R15 insulation. It also has a little bit of an attic in there, so that's an R60 insulation. So that should be that should work pretty well year round, I'm hoping. Of course, I just built this in the springtime. Now it's summer. I can see that I'm going to have to, get some fans or something to help keep it cool. But so far, so good. If I open the windows in the morning and cool it down, it'll stay relatively comfortable through most of the day. And then, I'll have to do some things to heat it up in the wintertime. And I'd like to have it be useful for the kids as kind of a year-round destination. As they get older, right now we'll fill it up with toys and they can lounge around and do whatever they want in there. As they get older, maybe it will become a music studio or an art studio or a dance studio or just a place to hang out and unwind and read a book or something like that. Now, because I built it, of course, there's a TV in there. So I made accommodations to put a TV on the wall. Also, a little bit of electricity. There are just a few outlets in there, so if you want to plug something in, it'll work. So my 3 sources of inspiration when I looked for other YouTube videos were, 1, if anyone had any great advice and techniques and stuff about how to build a shed, just a good sturdy shed with 16-inch on center 2x4s for the framing. But since this is beyond a shed, then I also looked at just general videos on how to finish a construction project inside just a regular home. Like if you wanted to finish a basement, what are the things you would have to do for framing and drywall and painting and, those sorts of concerns. Also, of course, the electrical stuff. I got a few tips on there. But since this is not a very complicated system as far as the electrical in there, I don't plan to put in an oven or, there's no really, air conditioner unit or any of those real high draw devices that are going to be in there. So just a few, enough to run small space heaters type of stuff, and a TV and a few things like that. So and some lights. It's really quite simple in there. And so this is the third type of video that I looked to for inspiration, was tiny house videos. So it's kind of interesting. Just recently, it seems, in the last couple of years, the whole tiny house phenomenon has become a big deal, and so I was able to take some cues from the folks that were working on tiny houses. Now, most of those tiny houses I've noticed are like on a trailer, made to be moved around a lot, and they do have some sort of small area for like a kitchen and a bathroom and that sort of thing. And I didn't have to do that here because it's just out behind the regular house, and so it's just like an additional room that we can enjoy. So that's what has taken me so much time, that has kind of taken me away from my normal YouTube videos that I've been making. So I suppose in the future you're going to see more of this, maybe when the kids are at school or otherwise occupied. Maybe I will use this as my YouTube studio, and you'll see how it looks inside. I didn't really want to go into too many details now. And maybe if I do figure I have a few tips and tricks and some things to say, if anyone else wants to attempt a little building like this, I can let you know about it. So months ago, put down the concrete slab and left that until I was ready to take the next step. And so that sat out here all winter. I made sure that every time it snowed, I cleared it off right away, so there wouldn't be a lot of freezing and melting cycles for the concrete surface. And it held up really well. So then when it was time to put the building on top of it, everything's fine. And right now it's completely finished in there. Well, not completely. I have a little bit of touch-up paint to do here and there, and then we'll be ready to go. And so I have a few more YouTube video ideas that are part of the Good Timekeeping Show. Those will be coming soon. I think that I might try to go with like a weekly release of a new Good Timekeeping Show video. So watch for those as soon as I figure out. Maybe it's not always the same day of the week. Unless you've got a suggestion, what would be a good day of the week? Like every Friday, something like that, I'll put out a new video. And so I'll try to keep that going for the next few weeks. So not these. Sometimes I put out a lot of videos at once, and then there's a dry spell, and then a few all at once. And so I'll try to be a little more consistent that way. And use the Playhouse for those videos. So I hope you enjoy that, and please stay tuned, because I will have more episodes of the Good Timekeeping Show, and maybe some more videos about this Playhouse. I should tell you, right now it's hooked up temporarily to power, just for the little bit of power that it uses for anything we want to plug into the wall. But maybe in the future I'll put some solar panels on there, and some batteries, and have this be a completely off the grid little place with its own electrical supply that is, again, independent from the grid. So it would be interesting to explore that aspect of solar power. I do have solar panels on the house, but those are grid tied, and so it would be fun to try something else. And I did make some accommodations with the way it's temporarily hooked up to power from the house, so that it would be easy to remove that power and put on some other source of power, like a solar panel system with batteries. So I'm not making any promises, because that does run you need a little bit of money for that, and because it's off grid, you don't get the same tax incentives and all that sort of thing that you might get with a grid tied system. But we'll see about that. So anyway, stay tuned. Again, mostly I'll be talking about clocks and watches, and those videos are coming up soon. So thanks for watching this one, and I'll see you again right here on YouTube.